Guys, it's me, Jake, from JakeMan21642. Today I have an update video for you of a car you really haven't seen on my channel in a little while. This is the 2007 Volkswagen Rabbit 2.5 liter 5-speed. This is my mom's daily driver. It's got about 73,000 miles. Like I said, I really just haven't made a video of it in a while, so for those of you who don't know, here it is. This is basically fully loaded for back in the day. We have owned, emphasis on owned, not leased, this car. Since it was brand new, 2007, we paid, I think we ended up paying around 21 for it. The sticker price of it was 23, close to 24, because this pretty much has every option for back in the day. As you can see, we have the 17-inch alloy wheels. This is the 4-door model, sunroof, premium audio. It has the nice cloth seats. Basically, the only option we didn't get was the automatic transmission. But this car was exactly what my mom wanted, and it was a bit of an impulse buy, but it's treated us well. And of course, her daily driver before it was my car, my first car, my 1971 Volkswagen Beetle. But anyway, I guess I'll just show you guys around. This one does have the black exterior, which honestly I think is the best looking color on these because they have the black trim around the bottom. And then on the bumper, you do have the black lower part. On cheaper models, especially the 2-doors, you have the black door trim, but on 4-door models it was body colored. But black just looks good on these, especially with the alloy wheels when you get a nice one. I definitely like the way this car looks. What are you looking at, Mr. TL? Anyway, showing you around, I guess I'll start out at the trunk, which is locked. So anyway, right here is your trunk release. Like I said, I'll start out at the trunk. Just push in, and that's always one of the things I've loved. As you can see, my mom does have some of her work stuff back here, but you do have the cargo tray. We actually did have to get one of these little support things replaced under warranty, but not a big deal back when the car was still under the warranty. Right here you do have a ski pass, and you have a 60-40 split rear seat. The car has an excellent amount of room with the seats folded down. Do have your dual exhaust on the 2.5 model. Do have some storage pockets on the side. Full-size spare tire is underneath there. This is plastic, but as you can see right here, your badge, it's just the Rabbit logo in 2.5. Actually doesn't say anything on it. I really do like the taillight designs of the Mark V too. I really like the way they look. As you can see up here, you do have your antenna. What the fuck are you looking at? Up here, you do have the antenna. This is probably something that's gonna have to be replaced eventually, because as you can see, the rubber is kind of peeling away, but I think this is from taking it through car washes. That was a common thing I read online. Antenna still works fine. Our old Passat did the exact same thing. Coming around to the back seat, which is probably one of my mom's highest selling points with this car, it's just a nice amount of back seat room. I mean, this thing has as much room as a CR-V or a RAV4. This is where I would drive. I am 6'2", and this is where I would drive. I mean, I can fit my entire hand in between my legs and the seat. I've ridden from Richmond, Virginia to Florida back here, and it's been fine. And the 2-door models are this nice anyway, but with the 4-door, they're just easy to get in and out of. This is basically the only flaw with the interior, is my mom had a rack for work, which was a pretty large rack laying across here, and it's scratched up against here and rubbed the finish off. I've always thought of looking for this piece on eBay just to replace it. You do get automatic windows in the rear, and not just power, they are automatic. This one does have the 10-speaker audio system, as I've mentioned. You do get real metal door handles, too. And this is, of course, soft touch up here. This is plastic, but this is cloth, and this isn't just cloth over plastic. This is nice padded cloth. You do get rear AC vents, and you do get cup holders also. This car also does have an armrest in the back seat, which is a very nice padded one. And as I mentioned, you do get your little ski pass. Very nice back seat in this car. But coming up front, we'll go ahead and start it up for you. You can see this one does have some scuffs from my mom's rings under the door, and a few scuffs right there, a little ding. I don't know where that came from. Stepping inside, you can see this seat is a little wet, and it looks stained, but it's just a little bit wet. It is a partial power driver's seat also. One other thing I've noticed is my mom has worn a little bit of a place on the top of the steering wheel from where she holds it. It does have 72,000 miles. Go ahead and close the door so it will stop chiming. And as you can hear, this does have the 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder. So your steering wheel, this doesn't have Bluetooth or steering wheel audio controls like the Jetta offered, but those are things my mom could absolutely care less about. As I did mention, this one is the amazing 5-speed manual gearbox. The 5-speed with the 5-cylinder is such a great combo, and this is such a great gearbox too, with a great clutch. This is such a joy to have in the garage at home. Anyway, since this is a 4-door model, this does have the center armrest, which does adjust. Parking brake. And I mean, this is all plastic around here, but it's well fitted, and it's actually a very nicely grained plastic. Does have a leather stitch shift boot. I love this shift knob and the way it looks. This is all a nicely finished rubberized plastic. You have your stability control, little storage down there. Dashboard, all soft touch, even all the way up to here, soft touch. This is soft touch. This is soft, nice and padded armrest. And it kind of does extend back here a little bit, I've noticed. This is rubberized, and as you can see, my mom's rings have kind of torn it up. And you do have power windows, or automatic windows, all 4. And on the passenger side too, it is also automatic. This is a very nice feature. It does have the 10-speaker audio system, as I mentioned, with your 6 CD changer. We did end up adding satellite radio aftermarket to this, but if you did option for satellite radio instead of the mix button, you would have your satellite radio button right here. Excellent audio system. Air conditioning, of course, does have heated cloth seats. You have your little kind of like carbon fiber accent on the dash. This does have the metal glove box latch, and opening up the glove box, it is nice and felt lined. As you can see, it is damp. Inside of here also, you do have a chilled glove box. Up here is your shelf where your manual sits. Of course, this has the manual since we bought it new. But it's just the little touches like that Volkswagen adds into these cars, which is just fantastic, and what sets them above their competition. Here you do have a manually dimming mirror, you know, pretty standard for back in the day. This air freshener that does not even smell anymore. I think it's been in this car for about 5 months. You do have your lights up here, and when you have your headlights on, you have some ambient lighting. So you can kind of see it's red. It's nice because it's always on, like there's no controls for it. But you can only notice it if you were to hold up something like a map or something you would need to read in the middle. You wouldn't require these one, and it's red. It's very nice at night. But that's up there. You do have your sunroof controls. As you can see, this button looks dirty, but it's just got my mom's makeup on it. I've noticed that with some of the surfaces in this car, along with her cell phone, they just will kind of get her makeup on it, like the door handle in here and the shift knob, but just they wipe right off. Sunroof controls, you have this, which controls all of your interior lights. I don't know what these are actually. And then up here, I think these are just vents, but up here you do have sunglasses, storage. And yeah, that's pretty much the interior. As I mentioned, quality is fantastic. You can see your gauge cluster, pretty basic. You do have your little information system in the middle, your trip computer, 50 degrees outside, and your tach. Love the sound of the 5-cylinder too. You do have your gauge dimmer right here and your headlight controls. You would pull for fog lights if this was a model with fog lights or a GLI or GTI. Go ahead and pop the hood. I'll show you up under there. Then I'll go ahead and take it for a test drive for you guys. It does have, as I mentioned, the 17-inch alloy wheels. It does need to be inspected this month, and I definitely think my mom's going to need 2 new tires, at least on the back. These are in like horrible condition actually, but they've been on here for a while. They're just cheap Nexen tires anyway. You can see it does have halogen bulbs and the trademark Volkswagen bulbs. Up under the hood, you can see this one does have rot chips on the hood because it's just spent a lot of time on the road. But up under the hood, you do have Volkswagen's 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder, producing 170 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. Very nice engine. This one has had the battery replaced, and it does have some corrosion on it. We actually did get this replaced at the dealership, and that's about all this car's needed other than basic maintenance. I changed the oil myself, and I did change the spark plugs early. I changed them at about 65,000 miles, which changing the spark plugs and air filter on this engine, you have to remove this entire engine cover, and the air box is up here. So, I mean, it's doable, but it's very time consuming. But I don't remember originally what this car was rated at. I believe 2231 with the manual transmission. In my driving yesterday, I averaged about 34, 35 miles per gallon, and that was either rolling or stop and go traffic in Northern Virginia, so about average. Let's go ahead and take it for a test drive. They're 60. So if anyone wonders why I'm such a 5-cylinder fanboy, that is why. It's just a fantastic engine for highway travel. You can hear the really large amount, well, not large, but larger than normal amount of road noise in this car, because it does have these very worn out tires on it, but that will be fixed in the next week or two. Car also just handles fantastic. I did take it on a road trip yesterday, which was probably the 5th or 6th road trip I've taken it on since probably October. And the car did fantastic. It's such a great highway car because it's very agile and predictable and easy to maneuver, but it's also powerful. Let's just say I went way above the speed limit a few times in this thing. I mean, you don't even need to downshift to merge. I just do it because I like hearing the 5-cylinder roar. But you can just leave it in 5th, and I'll show you right now. You can just leave it in 5th and go, and have no problem, as I'm demonstrating now. It's just such a fantastic engine, and it's got such a nice note. At 60, it probably revs at about 22,000-2300. Which, yes, is a bit high and will be solved by getting the automatic, which revs probably at about 1900 at 60. But it's a very well-insulated car, and you can't hear it. I mean, in all honesty, rolling 80, 85, and it's revving at 3 grand, you can't hear it. It's a nice, very nice interior. Volkswagen always does excellent with sound deadening. I mean, I would almost say it's a luxury car level, which I know I'm going to get into. And in all honesty too, since this is more of a detuned engine, there's really not a lot of torques here or anything for what it is, especially for a car that has such a low-end amount of torque. But then again too, the highway ride is not very choppy. It's a very nice balance. It's a great commuter car, a great city car, but if you want to open it up on a back road, it's not going to complain. And I just can't stress enough how fun the manual transmission in these is. As far, other than needing a battery and tires and spark plugs, just basic maintenance, we really have not had any issues with this car, I'm proud to say. What I mean about the torque in this car. It's really nice for a manual transmission, especially if you drive something with a 4-cylinder next to it, like a Civic or the Mazda 3 or the Focus. the amount of torque that this car has in comparison to all of those is just fantastic. It's just such a rev-happy and fantastic engine. Such a terrific manual transmission to drive. I really recommend, if you have not driven the 2.5 with a stick and you've heard the critics, they're like, oh, it's weird sounding, it's harsh, drive one. It's such a fantastic engine. And the power delivery is so smooth and just very nice. And honestly, I like the sound, but like I said, I'm a 5-cylinder fanboy, and I'll admit that. I really am disappointed Volkswagen didn't continue this engine, unlike the 2-liter, which they've been running for about 20 years, 25 years. Anyways, guys, I guess I'll end this pretty long video here. Like I said, this has just been an update on the 2007 Volkswagen Rabbit 2.5. Not a long-term review or anything, because this car is not going anywhere. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this, please like it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more. And if you have any questions, comments, anything to say, drop them down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe for more.